Hello, my name is Alexander Morare, and I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. And you've tuned into our podcast about Central and Eastern European startups that are in pre-Series A stage. Today's guest is Adrian Dima, the co-founder of KFactory. KFactory is an Industry 4.0 platform that automates data collection from machines and provides real-time information about production performance. Bună seara, Adrian.
Hey, hello, Alex. Nice to meet you. Bună seara.
Bună seara, yes. Look, as a warm-up, would you say Industry 4.0 is a hype, at least partially, because it's not up to the expectations and hopes that so many players of this landscape put into it?
I don't see it as a hype at the moment, I think it's a wave which just it's starting to grow. I can agree with you that it's moving slow because this is the speed of the industry, but also manufacturing, it's having its own specific, and it is a big distance between the understanding of the IT providers of our industry and the industry itself. And this makes things very hard, I'm talking with customers, our customers or potential customers, and they're having a lot of needs which technology can cover, And I know a lot of IT great companies which can cover the needs, but they don't have the industry language and they cannot sell into this industry. So that's why it's moving slow. There are a lot of needs, but only a few IT providers or technology providers which knows manufacturing language and which can sell into this industry. And from my point of view, it's the main reason which the industry is moving slow. But in reality, Industry 4.0, and technology needed in at least in manufacturing, it's greenfield. It's needed everywhere.
So still greenfield. Interesting.
It's greenfield. Imagine that me and my colleagues, we are seeing hundreds of factories each year. I don't think we are seeing one or two per year, which are really digitalized and they're not having need for anything. Wherever we are going, there is a need. So I've worked in 20 years of business for a lot of industries, but manufacturing, it's from this point of view, it's having a lot of place to grow, So that's why to return to your question, it's not a hype. It's a wave which is just starting to grow, and it's waiting for the right providers for it. There are not enough IT providers dedicated to manufacturing right now on market.
Okay. Now, in all honesty, would you say the issue is more on the receiver's end, not ready to innovate or to disrupt themselves, or even to disrupt a conservative way of doing things, of manufacturing, or the issue with Industry 4.0 advancement lies with the IT solutions providers more because they are not speaking the language of the industry, as you say?
Yeah, both, but mainly the second. I see an issue in the IT landscape more on manufacturing side. A lot of
I mean the former. The receivers, right? The clients are not yet ready to open up and. Why so? Again, in bullet points, why do you think this is so? So imagine there's a manufacturing facility and their manufacturing process has been already polished and time tested and it works fine and so on. And the problem is they're not ready to risk a little bit of maybe a potential disruption to their manufacturing process. By disruption, I mean just some blockages or some delays and so on and so on.
Let me give you a straightforward answer, an example which one of our customers gave us. And I asked him one time why, even with us, it was reluctant at the first meeting, After then seeing that we know his language and we know his needs, and finally we have signed with him, I asked him, why why you were reluctant with us in the first place, and said, Adrian, we are having a lot of needs and we know that. We cannot invest into an IT department. People are expensive and it's not our core, and we are counting on providers. And each week, some software companies, they are trying to get meeting with us and we say yes, and each time the story is the same. We are putting on a table, and they are starting to talk about technology and about machine learning and about AI and stuff we do not understand. We do not know about it, They are speaking just like for IT language, in IT language, just for IT guys. And we are just looking at them and we don't know what to say. And then it's our turn and we are talking about our needs. And they are looking at us, doesn't say anything and go, and we are not seeing them again ever, because they do not understand which is our business, So, probably this example for me, it's everything. When we're talking about the paradox of a need which is not met yet, the industry is having a lot of needs.
Yeah.
You need just to know what questions to ask, and this is it.
So both sides of the equation have not found a common language. You want to say, right? The language, the language of needs.
It's a problem.
Yeah,
and still it's a problem, because a lot of IT companies are focused on one technology, for example. Still, they are selling solutions in the old way. Old way means one problem, one IT solution. One problem, one IT solution. But in reality, the problem is they're creating more problems for manufacturing companies, because they are finding themselves with a complex IT landscape, not talking those solutions to each other, they're having more problems. I call this the Excel cycle. I'm seeing, one of the first phases in early stages of, let's say, digitalization in manufacturing, just like everywhere. People are using Excel, paper and Excel, and they are putting different data into Excel, and they are compile reports, good or bad, doesn't matter, and everybody's using Excel. And then the next phase, it's adopting usually an ERP system. This is more in most of the cases. Then WMS, a maintenance system, and a MES system, or whatever, And they found they are starting to give up Excel, they are starting to work with these systems. And in the third phase, they are discovering they cannot correlate all those data. And they are hiring people to get data into Excel from those solutions. But this time it's more expensive because you need to have guys more skillful, to use ERPs, to SAP, to get data out of it in Excel. And in our journeys, we have found out there are big names, which are hiring dozens of people, entire departments, just to collect data, to extract data into Excel and put it together. So this is the Excel cycle, I call it. It's and no IT, only a few IT providers know the danger of this type of old style selling, one solution or one problem, one solution, and know how to deal with it and talk to the customer and show him potential solutions already, because you can prevent that by thinking of an integration strategy or taking the correct steps together with him. So
Adrian, that's a very good warm up, and I'm happy you chose this direction of criticizing, in a way, the fellow startup founders and sales guys who do not understand the complexity of manufacturing process, I understand, and are selling their products, not solving the issues and the problems of their clients. With this, we move on to round one. Bang. And this is about the solution, the platform. Then prove now that you are different. How is your company different from the other providers, IT providers that you just described, that speak gibberish, not the language of their clients' needs?
Well, first we are taking it from the needs, not from our product. You know, usually our let's say PowerPoints and presentations are more for partners, for investors, for other actors. You know, usually with customers, we are just going there and discussing with them face to face. We're just opening our laptop, you know, and shows them a live factory, how it works, and ask them about their process. And if we cannot meet the requirements, at least we are saying that we are not there, you know. Maybe we can guide you to another provider, or tell you what you need. Maybe it's impossible, or it will cost you very much, or there are other problems with your approach. So one of our differentiators is not spectacular at all. We know business and we know manufacturing language, you know. So this is one of the things that we are doing different. Second, we are with our platform. Each day we are trying to integrate into seamlessly into customer business. And let me give you another example. Instead of defining complex dashboards and defining complex interfaces and web portals, you know, we are guiding the communication to the tools which people knows into factory. It means chat and email. Means that we are putting at their disposal a natural language interface, you know. For example, if they want to ask, how is my production now, you know, which is a stock for a certain item, or more complex for following up processes, we are just letting them to ask on a Teams interface, you know. And also, if they want reports, we are sending it by email. It's simple. Or give them a brief into chat, just like one of their colleagues will respond, you know. So we are just integrating our platform into their way of doing
interface,
business,
right? Okay.
not the other way around. Have a learning curve for them to understand our solution and to know how to deal with portals with other complex functionalities. We are just being on their side, you know.
So meaning your backend or your brain is integrating with the interface or communication process interface of your client, right? So you don't care where they feed requests into your platform. Okay.
Exactly. So it means that our business is more onto backend side, and in terms of interface is minimal, you know.
And which is easy to adapt to, adjust to your client's toolbox and so on. Interesting. Exactly. So Adrian, so again, I'm coming back to my question, because I think this is interesting and important also for your potential clients, investors, employees, and so on. Now, you did make a claim that your platform at the back end, and including with the front end and so on, cover all the, or is capable of covering supporting all the phases of manufacturing process, right? So like to give a general overview to everybody. So what could be the key manufacturing process phases? Planning, design, right? Production, quality control, packaging, resource management, I understand, distribution, and customer support. Would this cover the bulk of your platform models as well?
We are covering the entire operational processes into shop floor, which means production, maintenance, quality, and supply chain. And recently also we have launched another product which is focused on sustainability, means that we are measuring carbon emissions and giving advices how to reduce them into process, you know. So basically, we are specialists into production. We have started from production, from managing production efficiency and all the processes around, because production it's main process, you know, without the main vertical process into a factory, and all the other processes are working for this process. And if something it's wrong, you know, into supply chain, of course it's affecting production. So we are also having functionalities for understanding the issues from the supply chain, from maintenance, for example, from quality, you know, and to put them back into loop, to advise managers how to deal with those issues and how to improve efficiency of the processes. So our platform is mainly focused on efficiency of the operational processes, of those 4 processes: production, quality, supply chain, and maintenance.
And maintenance, okay. Plus ESG or environmental
exactly
issues, okay.
Yeah. So this is where we are, you know.
Okay, now take me through implementation of your platform in the manufacturing facility of a recent client. Meaning, what are the key challenges there? How do you make equipment of different manufacturing time or eras, very often, right? Different ages, producers. How do you make all the equipment in the manufacturing line talk to your system and produce actionable insights, easy to read by your clients? Take me through the integration or implementation process.
We have found a way to get data from almost all equipments we have sold ever. For example, now we are covering, there are more than 400 manufacturing equipments and production lines that we are monitoring live right now. And the number is growing each week, you know. And I'm saying almost all, because I think we have found 1 or 2 which were not, let's say, possible to integrate, but not due to technical reason, but to politics, let's say. The producer doesn't allow us to touch that equipment. It was too new, yeah, or the customer was having doubts about monitoring that particular equipment, you know. So the idea is the following. Yeah, in implementation, we are having a simple, we have a rule, which is keep it simple. Me and my partner were having more than 20 years into business and into heavy projects, you know, which are starting now and are pending, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 years. And we've had enough. We said we should keep it simple and we should have a straightforward process, you know. We should involve the customer team exactly as necessary, you know, which means less time with a lot of resources from both sides, you know, with meetings and the project managers, stakeholders, and a lot of people which are staying for hours into closing into a meeting room, you know. And we have made this process straightforward. So I think the biggest challenges right now for us there are the equipment, supply chains equipment, the sensors we are buying, you know, for them, the equipment, the tablet sensors and stuff. The supply chain, sometimes it takes, I don't know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So this is keeping us from starting the project next week, for example. So if we are having the equipment, you know, we are dealing with days or weeks, you know, to start a project from signing the contract to real life results. So we have made things simple. We have found a way to automate the process. We have found a way to integrate all those equipments. Doesn't matter there are new, old, or doesn't matter the type, the producer, and whatever. we're covering a lot of use cases right now. I'm proud of what KeyFactory became in the last 5 years.
Yeah. And by the way, do you have many clients where you have fully integrated into supervising and like monitoring and helping your clients with every stage and every phase of manufacturing, all the modules that you mentioned? Do you have lots of such integrations, implementations already?
A customer which is covering, where we're covering all those four phases? No, because usually we are starting with one process, and it's a time process, until we are deploying and they're seeing results, and the organization it's embracing the solution, and then we are moving forward,
And you mentioned production maintenance, supply chain, quality, and maybe green, right, as an additional model.
Yeah,
more and more pressure. And which of these four is most frequently the key for you to a client?
Production is first, and second, maintenance, because it's expensive, and usually they are using some of the customers are using subcontractors, and it's a process which takes time, and it also has the potential to disrupt the production itself, the results of the factory, and also quality, because the end customers, are becoming more and more are paying more and more attention to picky. Exactly, this is the right word. Yeah. So those three.
So as far as maintenance, you mean maintenance of the equipment itself only, or maintenance of the whole premise, or of all the premises, like facility management, the air if needed, or the quality of water, I don't know, in specific demanding circumstances, or maintenance?
We are covering for the moment still only the manufacturing, only the maintenance of the equipment, of the industrial equipment.
Yes, clear. Okay. What's interesting? The quality. How do you monitor the quality? Again, so something feeds into the system. How perfect the goods are that are produced, or which parts of them is faulty, right? And this is automatic. I understand.
There are several ways to do that.
Yes.
First of all, there are two things which you are looking at. First of all, it's the input from a sensor, for example, or for a scale which is placed in the process, and a piece is made and it's automatically placed on a scale, and the scale detects in several seconds is that product it's having the right weight, in a certain tolerance. If it's not having the right weight, it's potentially a defect, and we are notifying that and showing that in the process. So this is one example. There can be other type of.
It's almost like this self-servicing cashier systems in stores, right? As well.
Just like in retail, yeah. This is one let's say branch, the input, which can be taken automatically or manually by operators. Second, it's the process itself. In the process, we are assisting specialized departments to test quality of the product. For example, we are having a customer which is producing paints, special paints, and each time production order is made, we are notifying the lab operators, laboratory operators. Look, you are having a new order. You need to test this parameter, this parameter, this parameter. The results should be this and this, and the laboratory testers, they are starting to test and adding the results into our platform, and we are notifying automatically if it's a problem. We are notifying also the other responsibles if it's a problem on the process. If everything is fine, we are compiling automatically the testing report, the quality report, and move forward into the process. If not, we're taking on the other side and going to the engineers and the managers and say, look, we are having a problem with this production order. Take action. We are recording the actions took, and also we are returning back the product to production to make the adjustments, So these are to make the long story short. Those are, in quality, those are the two ways of helping manufacturing companies. Through sensors, through automatic input or manual input, and also through process. We are following up their process and making sure that everything is fine, and we are helping the end users to do the job done quickly and precise.
You know what, Adrian? I'm listening to you, and I all of a sudden I understand that your client is a difficult type of client. Why? Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, one of the reasons, I will tell you, is that it's not easy for you to make an A/B testing on a live manufacturing facility, right? And the question I had in my mind is, how do you manage to prove the effectiveness of your platform, right? Integrated into the manufacturing process. Is it easy to do? And do you have experience with that? And is it out of off the back of my mind, is it like increased percentage of right quality of the product, or better supply better resources utilization, quicker production, fewer faulty details? What is the success parameter for you, and how can you prove your client, look, without us, you had this X and Y and Z level of parameters A, B, C, and now it's a little bit different, and this is due to us, and you earn on us even with our expensive services?
It's all of that, because having a platform which is in the middle of a vertical process, it's easy to prove results fast if you know what you're doing, and without any doubts. For example, if we are implementing an ERP, it's hard to prove the efficiency of an ERP fast. The implementation can take months or years in some cases, then you need to the users and the organization should use to the new way of doing things, and it takes a lot of time, and usually the results are hard to compile, in a timeline of 3 years. A lot of things are happening in 3 years. With us, it's simple. After deployment and starting the work, we can prove results. The shortest period it was in 1 month, and usually in 3 up to 6 months, the results are there. We are having access to everything which is happening, and we can prove the customers that it's having less paperwork, less manual work. People are more efficient, people are more responsible, because this is one of our goals, to make people responsible for their job, for their work, And also the managers have a clear view. They can have the right decision in the right time, In manufacturing, it's important, in operation, because the problems for today, from today, are the most important, and you need to resolve it. Tomorrow, the problem from tomorrow, there will be the most important, and the ones from yesterday, they are less important. So that's why for us, it's important to show them the reality from today, not compile things for tomorrow, about yesterday. They need to see what are the problem now, to act now. And this is what we are doing. And until now, we've had a lot of success into it.
Yes, and this was, of course, a breach into the pricing model. How do you price the access and the benefits that the
Well,
platform can
it
give?
was a challenge, but we succeeded to push a SaaS model into manufacturing. It is not, SaaS is not new for, if we are talking about a lot of industry, but for manufacturing, it's new, you know. And we have managed to push SaaS into a monthly subscription into manufacturing companies. And I think it was easy, you know. Why is that? Because we have explained to people that it's just like having a subscription to a phone, you know. You are paying if you can talk over the phone and you can use it normally. If the service is not working, you are not paying. If you are not happy with the system, with the service, you can drop out any moment, you know. And a lot of them appreciated that. Why? Because they've had heavy implementations, you know, ERPs or other type of solution, and first they needed to buy licenses, to pay a lot of services before seeing some results. With our SaaS model, things are simple. We are you pay as long as you are using the service and you are having results. And this is our price model.
It's not very intuitive, of course. I wouldn't guess like this is a SaaS approach. I thought that would be some other model. But then do you charge per logo, like per asset, per facility, or per seats in different departments, for example?
No, the number.
And again, give me some figures. And of course, give me some numbers, okay? We will not move on until you give some numbers, or at least a range. What is there in your type of business possible?
Depends, and I know nobody wants to hear depends, you know, but this is actually a wide range of possibilities, you know, and depends of the number of reading points, because we are counting the reading points. If we are having one equipment, it's a reading point, you know, it's one reading point. If we are having a more complex equipment or a production line, there are more reading points. So that's why it depends. The industry, the type of equipment, you know, so usually it's price per reading point. To make things simple, it's price per equipment, okay? For our viewers to
okay. So price per equipment units, right? So to say, if the manufacturing line is
per month.
Yes. Okay. And is it universal, uniform, or different depending on the complexity of the equipment itself?
It's not the complexity of the equipment, but depends on the complexity of number of the equipments on a factory, and the potential to grow. If it's a factory only with 10 equipments, it's a price, you know. If it's a factory which starting with 10 equipment, but it's having 100, it's another discussion. Or it's having it's a multinational company which is having 10 factories, you know. So that's why the pricing model depends on that one. So I know you want
Adrian, but still, I still, if you treat this as a little bit of a push, you might be right. Give us a price range per equipment. So now we know a pricing unit, right? A piece of equipment. Okay. And so what's the, let's say, mainstream range, you would say, without extremities, just to make it easier, in euros per unit of equipment, in your experience?
I don't know. Honestly, it's a long discussion, and I don't want someone which is having a factory and it's watching this show don't want to get with a wrong idea, you know, about it. So that's why I'm not prepared to give you any numbers, you know. So it's
okay. So it's a negotiation and adaptation and adjustment to specific situation.
We are having a list price, so we are not going by on customer base, you know. It's not 100 for one and 1,000 for other, no. But the list price is not public, you know. So don't, at least for the moment, I'm not ready for this open discussion, you know.
Yeah, okay. And as a preparation for the next round about the competition landscape, tell me, how do you manage to stay, on top of the last cutting edge developments in Industry 4.0? Are you improving your own platform on the go, or do you sell already what you think is perfect for some time in the future?
No, we're continuously investing in platform. In next quarter, we are going to release the second version of our platform, which is going to add more functionalities, and it's going to allow us to move to other industries also. So it will be much easier to deploy, and also to configure. We have added a new business model this year, which is selling to partners, to business partners, and also we are going to, with this new version, we are going to allow them to make all the services for level 1 support, level 2 support, and also to monitor their customers' performance, and potential technical issues.
Like your potential partners would be integrators, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are having already some partners. We are having already started the process of selling through them.
That's interesting. Okay. Interesting, really. And then licensing or like franchising or whatever. In 15 seconds or so, Adrian, give me a ranking of top 3 industries that are going to be most profitable for you, you think?
Automotive, food industry, defense. There are 3, but there are also furniture you can add here. And
yeah, but those 3 are the most promising.
Yeah,
Yes, Adrian, thank you. That was a very interesting guidance or navigation through the intricacies of Industry 4.0 and how you successfully navigate this, should I say, blue ocean, right? As you mentioned, almost ocean, with some little fish and sharks going around you as well, sometimes in front of you, sometimes after you, meaning the competitive landscape is not very crowded. Would you agree with that? Or if you could mention a couple competitors that are interesting for you because you follow them or because you maybe try to catch up with them, anybody on the horizon that you could share?
In Romania, no, we are not having any meaningful competition, At European level, I don't know what to say. There are a lot of, let's say, technology companies, and I do not call them especially competitors. When you are making sensors or IoT platforms, you are not a competitor for us. You are at the most a potential partner. If I'm looking more, I'm looking at US. Where it is a company we are watching. It's called Parsable. It's an interesting company, Also, on some markets in Europe, it's an Israeli company. It's called Matix, but honestly, they are doing around 10% of what we are doing. They are very, very, let's say, present in marketing. My opinion is they are investing more in marketing than in product, but they are visible. And not so many other names. Honestly, I wished, for example, in Romania to be let's say, to be more startups into this area, into manufacturing. It will help us also to bring the word, to market, for the companies to know, to have a community of startups dedicated for manufacturing. But unfortunately, this does not exist. No.
Yeah, I understand. So you want somebody else to do the trailblazing, and then you enter the same doors and say, "We are much better because we're able to cover much more. Okay.
Not especially because I'm sure in market it will be competition, but it's about events related to Industry 4.0. It's about potential campaigns we can make in media or podcast. So this is an issue. It's in Romania now. It's only one event industry related to Industry 4.0, which is not even oriented to startups. There are some people which are taking some money from corporations and they are presenting things which Siemens is doing.
Let's say there is a budget to digest, not a mission to reach.
Yeah,
okay?
but
I know this.
It's a lie.
Yeah. So somebody needs to tick off, right? We are innovative and so on. And this is like in this corporate world, this is an opportunity to digest, not to improve or innovate. Yes, to digest the budget, I mean. Interesting. Exactly. So you mentioned this Israeli company. What was the name of this company from Israel?
Matix.
Matix. It's MATTIX?
Exactly. I can give you over chat if you want.
Matix. Yeah, okay, I'll have a look. And so you say companies like them, they are more visible in the marketing space. In a very quick nutshell, as a co-founder and a top manager in a startup, what do you think what do you think is the barrier, let's say, for you to have more effective marketing? One or two bottlenecks that you think are really a blockage for you, right?
The industry does not use the channels which works in retail, financing. I'm having a lot of contact, which are writing me over LinkedIn every 2 or 3 days, which are promising a lot of customers and a lot of potential leads, And each time I'm asking, what's your experience in manufacturing? They say 0, because nobody from manufacturing is using those channels, or let's say not nobody, but people which are decision makers. Only a few are using those channels, the social media or other ways of classic ways, let's say, of knowing about products, about trends and stuff.
So you want to say that your potential clients or your champions in your clients' companies do not use social media, including LinkedIn, you say?
Exactly.
Where
only a few CEOs that I know are using LinkedIn, for example. And, yes,
who are usually your champions in a client's company? Manufacturing direct.
CEOs, production managers, maintenance managers. Those are our discussion partners.
Okay. So you have to go the less, what should I say? The less algorithmic marketing tools should be used, right?
It's still a lot of selling face to face, a lot of
one-on-one even.
Yeah, exactly. We are organizing reference visits, for them to our actual customers. We are organizing events where we are talking about digitalization, not especially KeyFactory, but digitalization in manufacturing, because it's critical point. The events on the market right now, and not only in Romania, are mainly funded by corporations, and they are not pushing the image of what a customer should do, but what about the products from their portfolio the customer should buy, So that's why basically a lot of manufacturing people, wants to know about how they can approach digitalization in their factory, and they don't have the resources to do that,
Just because, as you say, they have their daily routines, which is full of challenges and issues, right?
Yeah. Let me give you another example. In US, for example, to give you an idea about how it works with big companies, technology providers, studies, and reality. Last year in US, it was a study made by a major technology provider, which is saying that 66% of manufacturing companies, they have adopted AI, artificial intelligence, as the rest are eager to do that. And the reality is that in the same year, after 1 or 2 months, I have read another study made by one of the biggest manufacturing associations in US, which is a reality. A bunch of manufacturing companies and a bunch of a group of big manufacturing companies from US, and the result, it was the same question. How many of you are using AI? And the result was 5% of them, they're just planning to use it, not use directly, planning to use it. So the real percentage of the usage is less than 5%. So this is the difference between what you are hearing as this type of events and reality,
Oh yeah, of course. Interesting. And so and you said that based on your experience, this is not close to 60, it's close to rather up to 5%, right? Rather than 60. Interesting.
Exactly. This is the reality. And in any factories that we are going, where people are open, and want to know about it, we are seeing the same issue. We don't have a role, we don't have a IT role, because of course it's normal. I'm hearing people which are saying, no, companies should hire digital CDO, chief digital officer. No, it's bullshit. You can do that in a large corporation, in Continental, but you cannot do this in 95% of the manufacturing companies. You don't have the money, you don't have the workload for this type of role, So in reality, it's the other way around. Those people need to be informed, and usually the role which is the most important in a factory to connect the dots, it's an improvement officer, continuous improvement officer, and usually this role needs to be trained and know what are the options to make a roadmap about digitalization, and to use IT providers, technology providers to build that roadmap, because you cannot do it inside. It's just like us, an IT company, just tomorrow to make a retail store, an offline store. We don't know nothing about it, but let's sell T-shirts with KFactory. No, it's not our business. If we want to do that, it's another job. So it's the same for them. You cannot hire IT people just to make IT providers happy, to have a counterpart there.
Okay, so somebody who knows the processes, the true core of the business with some IT savviness, so to say, is much better than to have somebody who is IT expert, guru, and then educate them, her or him, let's say, on the manufacturing reality.
This is the reality.
Yeah, interesting. Adrian, one more question here. What's the dream factory for you? The existing factory where you implement, or the factory that is about to be signed off? No, not signed off. Is about to be launched. Which one would you prefer?
Is more challenging, and I prefer one which is already launched. When
existing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, existing one. And also, if you are asking me about the dream customer, let's say, it's one which is open to technology, to new, So it does not have to have digital skills or whatever. Any other, doesn't matter the level of digitalization into factory, just to be open to new. And we are having some of those customers. We are lucky,
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting business development, a sales process challenge to qualify your potential clients for whether or not they are open to innovation, what signals you could gather and interpret properly to understand whether or not a company is innovation friendly, or if not innovation hungry, should I say. Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting challenge, to be honest, like intellectual. Cool. Adrian, we could spend more and more time here, but let's move on to round 3. quick Q&A, and I usually ask one question, and when we might divert as well. So, as a busy co-founder of a company that has lots of opportunities and challenges in the market as well, what is your key productivity hack that you could share? And I don't mean the tool. I mean the way you do things, right? Like if you were Frank Sinatra, you were singing this song, "I Did It My Way." What is your way of being productive?
Honestly, I couldn't find yet an answer. It's more work.
Your productivity hack is just to pump up your schedules and workload, and then hope you survive, and then the next day again.
Exactly. So I know all the theories about how to be more efficient, and I have overpassed them. So I have tried all of them, and nothing works. Because none of those theories are working for all of us. Each of us were unique. We're having different habits, different way of doing things. For example, at the base, I'm a developer, right? As you know, a developer needs time to get ideas, to get into his trance,
Mm-hmm.
And as a co-founder, I'm getting a lot of calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of something to do right now, So
BS. You mean a lot of BS, which is bureaucratic stuff. Wait. This is new. Lots of BS, bureaucratic stuff. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. So that's why it contradicts the other part is development. So for development, I need time and I need focus, and the co-founder role forbids me to have this focus. So I'm doing what I can, but I couldn't find the best answer yet. Probably in the next years. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like this. You need to spend less time on BS, bureaucratic stuff, and more on core business. Okay. Let's move on, Adrian. Thank you very much. Round 4, the company. Company was founded in 2017, I understand.
Yeah.
Founders Vlad Kazan, Adrian Dima.
Yeah.
Your partner, co-founder, is also an experienced guy in the manufacturing, but also in IT area, right? Altogether, you have 10 people, around 10 people,
Yeah.
including devs, sales, customer success. Now, where is the weakest? I know this is not very politically correct, maybe a question. Where is the biggest part of your team, you think, which needs improvement now, either by quality or by quantity?
It's a tricky question, As a co-founder, the short answer is on all parts,
Including the team of founders?
Yeah, of course.
Are you open to attract somebody as a co-founder? And if yes, what skill set he or she should have?
For example, we are looking to get bigger, and maybe in 1 or 2 years, we are looking to hire a CEO, and to.
Oh, okay.
Because we know, me and Vlad, we know that. Of course, we are having business experience and stuff, but what we are doing now, it's challenging us every day, and we are aware of the fact that at some point we may reach our competence limit, So each time we're having an issue, at least me, I'm asking, maybe it's me, maybe it's a problem of myself, So I need to resolve it. Even I'm not there, So maybe I can find someone better, which is more appropriate to resolve this issue. So we are totally open to that.
You mean this CEO being chief of everything officer? Yeah.
Chief of everything, yeah. So we are looking for that. Also, let's take the product team. Despite my experience and despite my colleagues' experience, I'm always aware that there are better people outside, and I hope in time to attract, I don't know, a CTO, or maybe to grow inside from our present team, someone which can become a CTO, So if you're asking me on all aspects of our teams, and our processes, I'm seeing a lot of potential improvement in future, starting with us. So I'm totally open to.
Interesting. Are all of you guys in one office, or is it distributed team? Working remote as well?
Actually, I'm very proud of our team. We are an international team. I think, except one case, which is two people which are working in the same city. The rest of the team, no team member is in the same city or in the same country. And we are having team members in Romania, Portugal, Algeria, Turkey, Germany, and the US. So basically, we are spread it everywhere. And we are a small team, but it sounds better to say 30% of our colleagues are women, and I totally support that. It's
interesting.
Something that we are taking great care in also in future to have more female colleagues,
What's the mainframe of your business kind of management architecture right now? What are you using? Is it Google Suite or some other platforms? Microsoft?
Office, Microsoft. We are Microsoft guys all over the way. Even our relation with Microsoft was bumpy during the years, as technology. I couldn't find any better technology until now, for our needs.
Let's make the reservation, a small caveat here. All the products and platforms owned by Microsoft during this podcast are not part of advertisement. We do not endorse or advertise them. I mean Microsoft's 365 or LinkedIn. Yes, Adrian, thank you. And let's move to the last round 5, Formula F3. And this is not the regular friends, fools, family, but funding for the future. And so from my market intelligence, should I say, we know that your previous seed round was in the beginning of this year, 2022. It's just below $1 million, right? With investors, including Fortech Investments, Sparkling Capital, Seif Transylvania. Now, so how long do you hope it will keep you running? And what's your plan for the next round?
We're planning to have another boost, let's say like this, around mid 2023. Probably in spring, we're going to start looking for a third round to allow us to move to new territories and to expand our product.
So I mean on the product side or geographical coverage, like sales, marketing?
Both. So now we are enhancing the product. We are with this second investment round. We have started activities into DACH area, and with the third round, we are hoping to expand our territory and to expand also our product.
So when they say DACH area, probably closer to German would be Dachgebiet. But just for those who don't know, this is the German-speaking countries, right? Like this cluster of countries: Switzerland, Austria, Germany, and that's it. Now, and tell me, Adrian, as far as investment funds. Is it easy to explain your product to a generalist VC fund?
Honestly, no. To a generalist fund, no, because they are not used with the industry. They do not understand the area we're acting in. But it's good news because there are a lot of funds, and from what I feel, there are more and more which are having a focus on Industry 4.0 and manufacturing, and with them we are having a good discussion. We've always had.
And by the way, I wanted to ask you previously as well, those investors that know the language of Industry 4.0, are they CVC or are they properly just VC funds, like a standalone entity, not as part of a corporate VC effort?
No, they are VCs. VCs which are which knows about the industry, which are having people, partners, which acted in the industry and understands the opportunity.
Okay. I know there's like a whole journey in front of you, but do you have an ideal exit scenario right now for yourself?
Not yet. It's early. It's still early. We need to grow. In several years, we hope to become a truly global company, and we hope to have the chance to make the difference into manufacturing industry all over the world. Maybe then we can talk about a successful exit.
Yeah. Also, I think this could be interesting as well. You don't seem like. You don't look like 25-year-old, startupper who can spend 26 hours a day per company and so on and so on. Is it difficult, or does it help you? You would say, to introduce and to pitch investors when you have a whole, treasure box of experience, like practical, real life experience, not just crazy idea will change the world and just
Actually, especially in our area, in B2B, in manufacturing, it's easier and it brings a lot of value into discussion, because the team, me and Vlad, are having a lot of experience, and it's also a good sign for potential investors. Probably if we are having 25, it was good when you are going into B2C or in other type of startups, but in this area, you need to understand the business, and this cannot came by default. You need to have some years of experience, and this is one of our strengths.
And in combination, I understand that both of you have something like close to 50 years of experience, which is a
lot of years.
Yes, a unique selling point in its own, I would say. Yeah, Adrian, thank you very much. Thanks everyone also for joining us for this podcast with Adrian Dima, co-founder of KFactory. And by the way, the name of KFactory comes from where? Why did you call it, the company this way?
It's a combination of factory, of course, and key comes from cognitive. It's a cognitive factory.
We should have started with this in the very beginning, basically, but never too late to understand the true, origins of a company. So, Adrian, really, it's been fascinating to learn about your innovative approach to Industry 4.0. There's like a whole array of challenges, but you have everything it takes, I think, to break through. Good luck with that, and we hope this podcast also provided some insights into every type of stakeholders interested in Industry 4.0. Thank you very much. Until next time, this was Alex Moraria from ITKeyMedia signing off with you, and Adrian has the chance to say final bye-bye.
Thank you, Alex. It was a pleasure. Bye.